Not to sound repetition, but Monday morning, that's your act one for the week. This is where you introduce your protagonist. That's you. You've been cast as your protagonist in your own story. So, you know, congratulations, you got a part, and so it's up to you to establish yourself in this world that you're creating for the week. What's your inciting incident, for the week? What's the goal that you're setting? What's the challenge that you're ready to meet? Think about it. Act one is a setup. This is today. This is your Monday. You're laying out the foundations of your story, for the week. What do you want to achieve this week? Is it to finally outline that difficult scene, to write those 5 first pages? Rich teaches about how those 5 first pages, how important they are. Have you been putting them off? Why don't you try to put them to a storyboard, that opening sequence? Map out your content calendar. Map out what you're going to do for this week, but map out your content calendar for your project. Pitch that idea you've been polishing. This is that moment to define that goal, to feel that spark of intention. Once you get those words out of your mouth, once you get those words on a piece of paper, then you'll feel it. Act two, the confrontation. That'll be your midweek. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is where the work all happen. Where obstacles will arise. Maybe it's a plot hole. Maybe you can't solve it. A difficult client, a creative block, or just like general chaos of life. This is where your protagonist, you grapple with conflicts, what you need to learn, what you need to adapt, what you need to push forward. It's where the bulk of the story unfolds, where the tension builds. That's what that's all about. So then we move on to act three, which is the resolution, and then comes Friday, leading to the weekend. This is where you see the culmination of your efforts, and hopefully, it's a triumphant resolution to the goals you set on Monday. Maybe it's a breakthrough. Maybe it's a finished draft. It's not a final draft, but it's a finished draft. A successful pitch, a piece of content launched, and even if it's not perfect, uh, you know, and you're not doing your perfect Hollywood ending, it's a point of reflection, a chance to learn and prepare for the next 3-act week.